What's up, everyone? I hope you're all doing well. I know I am. I'm back on the bike. I just want to talk a bit about the R9. It's been out, the news has been out for a while now, so before I hop on that subject, just want to let you hear the bike for a bit. Also, I've got a roommate named Parent Fisher, and the other day I was sitting and studying with him, and I asked him, hold on, if you had a son, why don't you name him Anal Fisher? Yeah, I can be funny. So, about the R9. God, there's so much to talk about. I hear a lot of people bashing this bike. When it first came out, we were all skeptical. I was skeptical, right? It didn't look as good as we all anticipated it. Like, they replaced the R6 for that. Like, the front looks yuck. I don't like the lights. I can agree with people, the winglets look wacky, right? It just can't replace like this. Look at this screamer of an R6. Hold on a sec. Yeah, the look just can't replace the R6, right? It's got like its own like what do you say lineage. Like everyone just recognizes the R6. But, you would think that this is a biased opinion, me being on the R6, but it really is not. Like, in short, I think the R9 is going to be an amazing bike, and I'll tell you why. We all hate the look, or like not hate the look, but like it just doesn't look on the same level as the R6 used to. But there are reasons for that. Now I can't justify why the headlight looks so bad, and it looks kind of skinny too, right? The R9 is skinnier than the R6. It's somewhere in the middle of like an R7 and an R6. And I was just wondering, like, why? Why did they make it? It doesn't look as beefy as like the R1 or the R6. There is a reason for that though. So Yamaha released a statement, and in all those statements they said about the R9, they were in their testing, they were comparing it, they were testing it from the R6. So the benchmark was the R6, and they wanted to make it better from that. So they made it slimmer than the R6. Because in the aero testing, that reduced the drag compared to the R6, and that makes sense. Like, less drag, faster, right? And I guess the winglets are like the product of that aero testing. They look like shit, but if it works, why wouldn't you? And on top of that, like, the R9 was released mainly because of Euro emissions, right? Like, they couldn't produce the R6 anymore because thanks to Euro emissions, they just couldn't tweak it anymore to like meet those regulations. So that is one of the reasons it came out. Like, no matter how much you hate it, that's the reason. And oh look, that's my roommate's car in the red on my left. See you guys. Bye bye. We are going the same way. I was just on the bike. They decided to hop in the car. But yeah, it's a lot of people were thinking it's because of the sales going down. That was not the reason. I can tell you for sure. It was one of the reasons for Euro emissions. The other reason was, if you watch the World Supersports Championship, right? That's the one below WSBK. So R6 was winning from 2017 to 2022. 6 years in a row they won. And when the Ducati V2 came into the picture, they started demolishing the R6. So they had like a streak going on. And the V2 with a 2-cylinder against the inline-4 was just demolishing it. And they had to make a change, right? Like, their rider Stefano Manzi was squeezing the living shit out of the R6, but it wasn't working. Like, I saw the races, like, hold on a second. Just give me a moment. Yeah, so he was squeezing the living shit out of the bike, and he rode so well, but there was only so much, you can do. Competing against, like, the higher torque bikes with smaller cylinders, like the Ducati and the MV Agusta too, which came along with the Ducati. Like, just recently, they came in 2020 in the championship and all that. So the other reason is, like, a lot of people think that these bikes, they forget that these are track bikes, these are race bikes. A lot of people think, why do they make these kind of bikes for the street when nobody wants it? Well, that's where you're wrong. They're not exactly making it for you on the street. You see this bike I'm riding, this is not meant for the street at all. This is meant for races and track. People just buy it because companies know that people are going to buy it for the street. They look cool and they sound really good. They're fast. Who doesn't want to buy a fast car or bike, right? So a company like Yamaha normally makes them for the track and for the championships, but they need to be homologated, right? Meaning they have to sell a certain number of production units for the road users to be able to race them in these championships. And that is why they sell it to the public market, one of the reasons. Companies like Yamaha, they're main focus when it comes to like the 600cc and 1000cc is first and foremost championship focus, and then secondary comes like the road user market. So that's why they make the bikes the way they make it. Like, look at how aggressive my bike is. Like, it hurts my back every time I ride it because it's the ergonomics. Everything is like track focus. Anything below 600cc is like, you know, more road user market. So they kind of cater to that. But that is why the way it is. That is why the way it looks. The reason they have the winglets and why it's thin, because it was tested for the track and for the championship. They want to win the championship, you know, like they do care about like the public market, but they want to win the championship too. And that's why they brought it out, Euro emissions, and they were losing with the R6. And as much as I hate to see the inline 4 600cc's go, like they sound so good. I'm really optimistic. Like I think the R9, you know, I hate to say it, but it's going to be better than the R6. It's going to be so good. And like, look at the torque figures. The torque is so much more. So like on the track, when you're coming out of the corner, or when you're launching, you're going to be much faster on the R9. And with the same horsepower, with better aero, there's no way the R6 is beating the R9, right? And as much as I love my bike, on paper, the R9 is going to be better, and which means they are going to be, that's like moving forward in the championship, right? They don't want to move backwards. And Yamaha has had so much success in, you know, all their classes, and pretty sure the engineers know what they're doing. They don't want to lose. They're not there to lose. So yeah, there you go. I'm looking forward to it. I know a lot of people bashed on it, but I know a lot of people that are buying the bike too. They have already put in their order. So yeah, it's going to be a great bike. And I heard that people are confusing the R9 for replacing the R1, which was never the case. And that's also because they thought the R7 was replacing the R6. No, it's a whole different class of bike. The R1 got scrapped out because of your emissions. Again, thanks to that. So, no, the R9 was always supposed to be in the World Supersport Championship. And yeah, that's all I want to talk about. I hope I'll see you guys in the next one.